So coming into summertime, we like to kind of keep our dinner simple, kind of a protein and then a vegetable, especially meat and potatoes. You really can't go wrong with that. So in today's video, we're gonna show you how to grill the most delicious steak. We're gonna make a homemade chimichurri sauce. And don't worry, it's so easy to make and just takes your steak to the next level. And then also y'all stick around because we're gonna make these oven roasted Parmesan crusted potatoes. These will go great with any kind of protein, but especially your steak. This whole meal is gonna be so good, y'all. Perfect for summertime. Let's get cooking. Alrighty, y'all, we're gonna start with that fresh chimichurri first so we can get it in the fridge and all these delicious herbs and flavors can be marrying together. So we do have, this is 2 bundles of flat leaf parsley. We have those washed up. We're also gonna need some oregano, just a little bit. We also are gonna use some fresh garlic. You can use garlic for this as well, but we're going with all the fresh stuff, so we wanna go with the fresh garlic today. Of course, we have some salt and pepper. We have some crushed red pepper flakes, some olive oil, and some red wine vinegar. Y'all, this comes together so easy and looks so impressive. Let's get it together. All right, so first things first, we're just gonna chop up that parsley. You can leave a little bit of stems in there, but we like to just make sure we pull all those off. And we're gonna need about 1.5 cups of this parsley chopped up. So it's 1.5 cups chopped. So while we're making our chimichurri, we do have our steaks sitting out. It's best to let your steaks come to almost room temperature. We're using some ribeyes today, but also a New York strip would be perfect in here. You just want to look for some good marbling. Like I said, these steaks are some pretty thick ones, so they're going to be perfect for this. But we're just going to let these sit out and we'll season them up here in just a second. Got our chopped parsley going in the bowl, fresh oregano going in the bowl. Next, we're going in with about 3/4 cup of olive oil. This is extra virgin olive oil. Just gonna add it right in with our fresh herbs. Next, we're going in with 3 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. We got our minced fresh garlic going in. We're just gonna stir everything together, and that is your chimichurri, y'all. We are just gonna cover this, pop this in the fridge for an hour or 2 while we get everything else ready and together. This is gonna be delicious. And you can always add a little bit more olive oil if you think you need to. I think we might need to add just a tiny bit more to this, just because we do want it to kind of drizzle on our steak at the end. But it's always better to have to add a little bit more at the end than put too much at first. Alrighty, y'all, Darren is getting our grill hot, so I'm just gonna go ahead and season up our steaks really quick. Again, I do like to drizzle just the tiniest little bit of olive oil right on top, not much at all. Kind of spread that around on there. It kind of gives our seasoning just a little something to stick to. And I'm just going in with some grilling seasoning. Whatever seasoning on your steak you like will be fine. Because really our star of the show and our flavor is gonna come from that delicious chimichurri. All right, y'all, we have the grill. It's about 450 to 500 degrees. We like to do our steaks kind of fast and hot. We are shooting for kind of a medium, maybe a little bit less than medium. Alrighty, y'all, we just put our steaks off the grill. We did let them kind of rest for a few minutes. And now we're just gonna slice it up. We're ready to add that delicious chimichurri. I'm so excited. This next recipe I actually found on TikTok from the brand Dano's. We love their seasoning. We just get this huge thing of like their all-purpose. This is not sponsored, but this is where I did find that recipe, so I did want to give them credit. So first of all, I have a 9x13 down here. We have 3/4 of a stick of butter that we melted. We're just gonna pour that into our pan. And what we're doing is we're gonna create kind of this Parmesan paste in the bottom. So next to that butter, we're gonna add about 1/3 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. We're just gonna add in some of that Dano's seasoning. Okay. I'm just gonna grab my spoon and we're just gonna stir everything together and make a buttery Parmesan herb paste. And of course, if you don't have that Dano's seasoning, you could just use some oregano, some garlic, onion powder, pretty much anything you think sounds good. All right, so for our potatoes, what we're gonna do is slice them in half, long ways, and then he just scores them. So you just want to score your potatoes. You can kind of see they're sliced, they are scored, but not cut all the way through. And then we're just going to take each potato, we're going to place it kind of face down in that crust we made, and we're going to do the same thing until we fill up our dish. All right, he didn't say to do this, but I'm just going to drizzle with the tiniest bit of olive oil just on top of these potatoes. Spread it out a little bit on there. And we have our oven preheated to 425, and these are just going in there uncovered for about 35 to 40 minutes. We'll keep a check on them just until they are all nice and fork tender. Alrighty, y'all, our potatoes are nice and tender, and just look at the bottom. So I did want to pop in right here and just add in a quick little note. After making these, you can kind of see back in that left top corner of the pan here on the screen, some of that Parmesan did burn, or it got a little bit more brown than I want. However, that was the part that a potato was not sitting on. So just make sure you have a potato kind of over top of your Parmesan in your pan, because everywhere else that potato kind of moistened that Parmesan just enough to where it did not burn. We had a little bit of extra Parmesan back there in that corner, and I think that's why that did that. So if I were to have just to scoop that out or had extra potatoes back there, that wouldn't have happened. But I just want to add that little note in there so when you give these a try. Just look at that Parmesan crust on the bottom. Like I said, these will be good all summer long. Y'all have got to give this steak a try. Give these potatoes a try as well. Put them with your grilled chicken, your grilled steak, even burgers. These are going to be so perfect. Let me know if you stopped by today. Leave a potato emoji down there in the comments. I would love to say hello to you. I have another video right here on the screen if you're ready for seconds. I'll catch y'all over there, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.